Hello everyone, good evening and welcome into your performance management class. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And today we are going to start our next topics. Although we have few remaining discussions from this target costing, so I thought to start with this one. But before we move on, I would like to know if you are clear with the last class. Last class, we discussed activity-based costing and target costing. Are you clear? Have you understood all those basic concepts already? Oh, very good. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so what is target costing? By the way, our today's class, we will finish early. Okay, so hopefully we will be able to complete chapter number 2 and chapter number 3 today. Target costing, as I discussed in the last class, the target costing system or target costing method is a different way to calculate cost of a product. Unlike a conventional costing where we use a different equation, in conventional costing, we calculate sale price by first calculating product cost, and product cost equal to direct material, direct labor, and overheads. Okay, so first we calculate product cost, and then we add our target profit margin or markup to calculate sale price. But in target costing, we use a different formula, we use a different method, we use a different equation. So under target costing, we start from market price, and then we deduct our target profit to calculate target cost. So this is unconventional method of calculating the product cost. Why it is unconventional? Because this method is more relevant in highly competitive markets. What are highly competitive markets? These are those markets where there are many competitors, where there are many players, where there are many suppliers are already there and they are making similar products. Okay, so this is the story of target costing. Then now you need to know about the target costing process because this is part of the performance management syllabus and exam questions might test you. So in target costing process, first of all, we start from step 1 that involve determine which type of product to make, what should be the features of the product. Okay, like what should be the specification of the product, what should be the different other value additions of the product. So first, in step number 1, we identify idea for the product. In step number 2, now we look at the market and find out at what price we can sell this product. You can take example of a video game, or you can take example of electronics manufacturer that develops a new AC, that makes and produce a new AC, a new oven, a new LED, any electronics. Okay, so they will look at the market and find out what price customers are willing to pay, or at what price the competitors are selling their product. Okay, so we will, in step number 2, we will determine the market-based price at which we can sell. Step number 3, we will determine what profit margin or how much return we want from this product. Okay, step number 3. Step number 4, we will calculate target cost. So target cost formula is target cost is equal to target market price minus target selling price minus target profit. Step number 5, now we calculate current cost. That we also use word estimated cost, and this cost is at current level. current cost level. Okay, so we will calculate this cost. Then step number 6, we will calculate the difference between current estimated cost and the target cost. So this difference in cost is called target cost gap, because target cost gap means that our current cost is higher and our target cost is lower. Our ultimate objective is to achieve that target cost. Our ultimate objective is to reduce the cost at that level called target cost. So for this, we need to take initiatives. We need to take measures in order to reduce cost to the target cost level. And for this, step number 7, involve closing the target cost gap. So here we take initiatives, different steps, different actions we need to take in order to reduce the cost to the target cost level. So this is called target costing process. I hope you have understood all this. Next, there are different methods of closing a target cost gap. I already have discussed, and you can go through this one. Now, the next topic that we need to start is, can we use target costing in service industries? Previously, we have discussed use of target costing in manufacturing organization. What is the difference between service and manufacturing organization? You know, manufacturing organizations, manufacturing businesses, look around you and find out how many products can you see. You can see AC, fan, you can see ceiling, you can see the flooring, you can see furniture, you can see TV around you, you can see sofa. All these are manufactured products, manufacturing products. So, but I am providing you a service right now. When you go to hotel, restaurant, hospital, when you go to gym, when you go for your car repair, when you go for like home cleaning, all these are the different types of services. Okay. So the question is, can we use target costing in service organizations? Because previously we have discussed that in order to close target cost gap, there are many steps we need to follow. We redesign the product, we reduce the number of components, we can purchase the materials in bulk quantity, we can use cheaper staff. So the question is, can we repeat these all measures in service organizations? First, we need to know the difference between service and manufacturing organizations. So this is a very interesting. So for that, you need to know the characteristics of services or service organizations. So there are five distinguishing features that distinguish services from manufacturing organization, or that distinguishes these services. First of all, this is intangibility. Intangibility, that services are intangible, whereas manufactured products are tangible. For example, this pen is a manufactured product. This laptop, this tab, this all cables and switches and everything, these are tangible. Inseparability mean that the you can say inseparability is also called, in other words, like we cannot spare, we cannot simultaneity, this is called. Inseparability means that services are produced and consumed at the same time, whereas manufactured products can be separate from its manufacturing and its use. For example, this pen might have been produced like a few years back, but still it is in use. But this is not the case with the services. Services are produced and consumed at the same time. Variability is also another features of services, that services vary from time to time, from person to person, time to time, person to person, and place to place. In other words, there is no standardization in services. That is called variation or variability. Next is called perishability. Perishability means services cannot be stored. Cannot be stored, unlike manufactured products. Like this pen, I have stored it. Inventory you can think of. You can think of stock that we can store. For example, think of rice, think of wheat, think of butter, think of oil. All these we can store, but we cannot store a service. And number five, that transfer of ownership. In manufactured products, when I buy this pen, the ownership was transferred from the manufacturer to the purchaser or to the customer. But in services, the ownership is not transferred. Only the service is provided, but the ownership of the service remains within the provider of the service. So these are very interesting features that distinguish services from manufactured products. Let's have a quick look. Intangibility means that services are intangible. They cannot be physically touched. They cannot be physically seen. They may not have any physical aspect of services. Okay. Inseparability means simultaneity. Simultaneity means services are produced and consumed at same time. Okay, they are produced and consumed at same time. Variability, also called heterogeneity, that services vary from time to time, person to person. It's very difficult to maintain a consistency in the services, because services mostly, the one of the reason why it is difficult to maintain standardization is because of human involvement. What that mean, human involvement? Because uh, a lot of services depends upon skill, depend upon knowledge and skill of human being or human that are providing services. So that may vary. And also, yeah, knowledge, skill, and motivation as well. A person might be very happy. Other day, the person might be unhappy. So this is about motivation and mood. So very interesting, this fact is. That's why services vary from person to person. And even same person providing same service may not be able to deliver the same service if on the other day or repeatedly. The reason, because of these factors. Then number four is about perishability, that services cannot be stored. Services are perishable. Although a lot of services these days can be stored. For example, this lecture will be recorded and will be available in video recording, but this is not the case with every service. You cannot store, like when you go to a hotel, you go to a restaurant, you go to a cinema, you go to a theater, you go to a concert, you cannot store those services because these are produced and consumed at the same time. And then no transfer of ownership in services. I hope you have understood all this. Okay. So considering these factors, just one moment, please, just 1 second. So now I hope you have understood that it is a very difficult to use the target costing in services. Are you okay? Are you clear with, are you understood with this approach and this concept? Are you clear on the basis of these characteristics, right? Okay, so now let's discuss what are advantages of target costing. Very interesting, and please make sure you understand all these advantages finalized. Okay, design of the product, design is finalized. So if the design is finalized, then the product is locked in. So cost is also locked in. That means once the product is finalized and started production, then it will be very difficult to reduce those costs. Imagine, I can give you example of this pen. For example, if this pen design is finalized and now the production is started, it will be very difficult to now discontinue or change the design because it requires a lot of time. You might have understood in activity-based costing that design and development is a very big, costly activity. Okay, because it requires thousands of hours. Thousands of hours are required in developing a product. Okay. Develop, design, and developing a product requires thousands of hours and lot of other resources as well. So it is better to reduce cost, value all features, evaluate all features, analyze each feature that what we are going to offer, because there is a cost for every feature. Okay, so reduce cost before they are locked in, means before finalizing the design, you have the opportunity to reduce cost of the product. As previously mentioned, it is being increasingly recognized that the major proportion of product cost, around 7 to 80%, 70 to 80% are effectively fixed during the design stage. So imagine the importance of the design stage, importance of design stage of the product. By the way, we will discuss this again in the next chapter, life cycle costing as well. But at this point, you need to know that how much important it is to very carefully craft design of a product. Careful craft of design, because once the design is in production phase, it will be very difficult. So I hope you understand the importance of target costing. Target costing offers the opportunity to review the design of the product. Number two, to control design specification and production techniques. Target costing is a tool which can be used to control decisions such as design specification and production techniques. Yes, in a lot of manufacturing processes, lot of manufacturing processes are designed or are set up as per the design of the product. Design of the product. You can, okay, one example I can give you. Watch, car, auto assembly process. on YouTube. You might have seen such videos. There are a lot of robots are working on assembly, on like nut bolts and welding and all that. There are a lot of robots. You might have seen such videos. So in lot of production processes are designed according to, or set up or arranged according to the design of the product. So imagine if the design of the product is complicated or difficult, this will make the production process more complicated. Okay. And this one you can see in electronics and in automobile assembly plants. Number three, as an analysis which highlights other problems. Yes, because target costing offers a detailed review. It offers a detailed review of the product and processes. So when a detailed analysis is done, this offers the opportunity to the management to identify any other weaknesses as well. Number four, as a driver for cost improvement. So yes, of course, when we are seeing something in detailed analysis offers opportunity to identify any like cost wastage or wastage of resources. Okay, so with the help of this, the management can identify where we are wasting resources, so they can cut the waste of those resources and ultimately reduce the cost of the product. Number five, to encourage a focus on the customer. Yes, another very interesting feature of the target costing is that it offers the opportunity to develop a product what customers want. Develop a product what customer want. So instead of making a product that we want, know what customer want. Then reduction and control. Yes, reduction in the usage of resources, reduction in cost, and more control on the cost of the product. Market-based costing. Yes. So in this way, selling prices we can set on the basis of the market-based cost, because we have been able to reduce the cost of the product to the market level. Customers are given importance. Customers are at the heart, at the center, at the core of our design of the product. More focus on the design side. And number 10, proactive approach of cost control. Yes, because target costing is used at the design and development stage of the product. Okay, so that's why we would be better able in a position to think in the future. Think in the future. Think in the future and design and follow a more proactive approach for the cost control. And then multidisciplinary approach means this requires a teamwork. This is not one department or one team. No, this requires teamwork, coordination among different departments and the processes. I hope you have understood all this, and you can try this quick quiz as well. By tomorrow, you will have these notes available, so you can go through these notes and enjoy all this. Or you, if you would like, I can share these notes with you right now. But I am actually a little bit working on improvement. So what do you think? Would you like it now or tomorrow? And by the way, these notes will also be available on the portal as well, I hope, tomorrow. Okay? Would it be fine if I share it tomorrow, right? Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so this is one question that we can try later after the end of all this section. This question is, for example, if you look at the question, we can quickly go through the reading of the question. Solar Co assembles and sells a range of components for motor vehicle, and it is considering a proposal to add a new component to its product range. This is component for electric motor cars, which has been given the code number NP19. Mean they want to develop a new component for electric cars. The company sees an opportunity to gain market share. Although you are at early stage of your studies, but what I would suggest you read wider. Okay, this will help you develop your commercial and business acumen. Business acumen means you will develop your knowledge about industries, products, and companies and business organizations and economy. So, for example, like you see in this question how beautifully this question has been designed, that the company wants to develop a new component for a new industry, that is electric motor cars. The company see an opportunity to gain market share in a market that is expected to grow considerably over time. The market is expected to grow considerably over time, but already competition from rival producers is strong. There are already players, there are already competitors who are producing similar products. Component NP19 would be produced by assembling a number of parts bought in from external suppliers and would then be sold on to manufacturers of electric cars. Okay. SolarCo would use its current workforce of assembly workers to make the component. Production overheads are currently absorbed into production cost on an assembly hour basis. Okay, very interesting. SolarCo is considering the use of target costing for the new component. So what are the requirements? Requirements are explain. This is a theoretical. Explain briefly how target costing might be used in the development and production of a new product. How target costing can be used. So you have to discuss the process. How many steps are there? 7 steps process of target costing. B part is explain the benefits of adopting a target costing. We have discussed already what are the benefits of adopting target costing approach at an early stage in the development of a new product. And C, if a target costing approach is used and the cost gap is identified for component NP19, suggest possible measures that SolarCo might take to reduce the gaps. You have to suggest. Now, this question is more practical. So when you are suggesting these measures, you have to make sure that you are suggesting these measures within the situation. Okay, and performance management exam love to test these type of questions. Okay, and then part D is about calculation. So hopefully we will be doing, or I can share its solution with you later, but after we can work on this question. So this is all about target costing. I hope you find it very interesting chapter on looking at the product cost in different way. Next, our new chapter number 3 is about life cycle costing. You would be amazed that target costing and life cycle costing has both a strong connection with each other. How that connection works? One thing that you just have studied, that target costing is used at the design and development stage of the product. When a product is being developed, when we are researching on a product, we use target costing at that stage. So what is life cycle costing? Life cycle costing is becoming an emerging concept an emerging area in the management accounting and performance management. So life cycle costing, let's go through the notes. Life cycle costing is the accumulation of cost for activities that occur over the entire life cycle of a product from inception to abandonment. So in short, under life cycle costing, we look at the cost of whole life cycle of a product, unlike traditional costing methods where we look at period cost. I mean, we measure cost of a product from period to period basis, but under life cycle costing, we follow a whole life cycle approach, meaning all costs incurred throughout the product life cycle, throughout the life cycle of the product, we have to consider. So accumulate and measure all costs. Accumulate mean track, trace, accumulate, and measure all costs incurred throughout the whole life cycle of a product. Okay, from its start till its end of the product. So for this purpose, we need to divide the life cycle of a product into multiple stages. Why we need to divide the life cycle of a product into multiple stages? Because we want more control, we want more visibility to have better understanding and visibility of different costs. This is a very beautiful statement. Okay, so why we need to divide into different stages of the life cycle to have the better understanding and visibility of the cost. Okay, so I hope you have understood that what life cycle costing is about. Let's look at traditional costing method versus life cycle costing. Traditional management accounting systems are based on the financial accounting year. Year mean period based. Traditional accounting are periodic based, mean that tracks cost on period to period basis. Okay, I can write this note for you. This method track and measure cost on period to period basis. What that mean, period to period basis? For example, we have calculated cost of 2023. Now we have calculated cost of 2024. Then now we are calculating cost of 2025. So this is a period to period basis. But we can also split this into the like quarters as well. So quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. So this is also one way to track the cost. But this all is periodic and traditional way of calculating and reporting cost. Okay, that the word I have used here, that track, trace, accumulate, measure, and I need to add this one, and report and control. Yeah, we need to add all these words because this makes the comprehensive discussion. Accumulate, then measure, report, and control. I am writing this just for your broader knowledge that what is management accounting and performance management about. Okay, so under life cycle costing, we track, trace, accumulate, measure, report, and control all costs incurred, all costs, all costs incurred throughout the life cycle of our product. So for that purpose, we divide the life cycle into various stages. Okay, so traditional costing method versus life cycle costing. Traditional costing is more periodic basis. Break the period product life cycle into series of annual, yes, series of annual sections, mean annual like 2022, 2023, 2024. This means that traditional management accounting systems do not accumulate cost over entire life cycle of the product. Why? Why traditional management accounting systems do not capture? Here is very interesting answer is that because they were not designed. They were not designed for this purpose. Very interesting point I have written for you, that traditional management accounting systems were not designed to capture cost over entire life cycle. Rather, they were designed to capture cost on period basis. Therefore, it does not assess a product true profitability over its entire life, but assesses on period basis. Yes. So that is another very interesting point, that's why, therefore, it does not assess a product profitability over its entire life. Because we are not measuring the entire life cycle cost and profitability of a product. So we are not clear whether this product was profitable or not profitable because we are not tracking the entire life cycle cost of a product. Guys, I am trying my best to make it very simple for you. Are you understanding all these concepts, by the way? Are you understanding all these concepts? And I hope my speed is not very fast. Are you understanding all these, absorbing all these concepts? Okay. So on the other hand, life cycle costing tracks and accumulates total cost and revenues attributable to each product over entire product life cycle. Okay. On the other hand, life cycle costing tracks and accumulates total costs and revenues attributable to each product over entire life cycle. Okay, so that is the story of life cycle. Okay, so what are the stages, functions such as research and development and design? It is stage where huge costs are incurred. Yes. If you think about new product development, a lot of products consume a massive cost and research. For example, think about machine production, different types of heavy machinery, for example. think of heavy machinery, or similarly, you can think about medical equipment. Medical equipment. I am just giving you two types of examples. So think of the X-ray machines, MRI machines, for example, MRI machines. These require a lot of research and development, a lot of knowledge, okay, in their development. So that's why in target costing, we were discussing that target costing is used at design and development stage, because target costing would help to reduce the cost, okay? This stage includes business functions such as research and development and design. It is a stage where huge costs are incurred on the development and research of the product. The stage also includes expenses incurred in understanding the customer's needs for the product. Yes, because it involves research as well. Number two, introduction stage. Once the product design and development stage, and once the prototype, prototypes are developed. So once the design and development stage, the product has successfully completed, okay? Once developed, now the product is at the introduction stage. The product starts to earn some revenue because the product is just shifted in the market. Yeah. So product is now available for sale. Now available on market for sale. Okay. So, but now at the introduction stage, it varies from product to product. Some products would be in high demand at introduction stage, but other products would need to heavily market. It vary from product to product. Okay, like Apple, for example, if you think of iPhone already has, or Samsung, like phones or electronics, because these products already have their strong markets, strong customers, demand, and loyalty. So as soon as the new model is launched, okay, it is sold quickly. But this is not the case with every product. Countless products are there. When they are offered on the market, they need to spend heavy budgets on their marketing to create awareness among customers. Growth stage is there. Once the product has got established and now more and more customers started knowing the product, so now the product sale will increase. This is called growth stage. So if we go through the notes, this stage includes business functions such as production, marketing, distribution. At this stage, the product becomes well known in the market. Due to increase in demand, it captures bigger market and starts to make a profit at this stage. And cost of the initial investment is progressively recovered. And now, after growth stage, here comes, after enjoying for some time at growth stage, the growth stage maybe few months or maybe few years. Growth stage may last for few months, especially if these are high-tech products. High-tech products, every other month we are seeing a new product is coming. Last for few months or few years. If a product can last for a few years, growth stage, that is very lucky these days. Becoming difficult these days because of the competition, due to competition. Okay, so and then after enjoying growth phase, now the product has entered into maturity stage. Maturity stage means where its demand would become stable. Stable demand. The reason for stable demand would be many. One reason would be that various reasons. One reason would be that there is no more new customer in the market to sell additional product, or other reason can be that a lot of other competitors have offered similar products on the market, so market has got saturated. This is also called saturation stage as well, where the market has got saturated. And then a stage will come where more advanced products are, when better advanced products are made available. Okay, the product has now entered into decline phase. A point comes where large adequate quantities of the product have been sold in the market, and now the product has reached a saturation point. At this stage, the demand for the product start to fall. Now the demand has started falling, and marketing costs are cut down because demand is falling. So marketing cost will also be reduced. The reason, because marketing costs are incurred where a business or a brand has hope to sell more. But when you know that it is difficult to sell more, then there's no reason to spend more on marketing. Okay, so the product may start making loss at this stage. Yes, it is also possible because now the competition has become so intense that even it's difficult to maintain the existing sale demand level. So it is possible that the business or the brand may start selling the product at the lowest price, so low price that even it would be difficult to cover cost as well. And it happens. A lot of markets show this phenomena. A lot of markets, products exhibit this phenomena. Okay, I hope you understand the 5 stages of our product life cycle. And now we can have a quick look at the cost involved at different stages of the product life cycle, the different types of costs which are incurred. Product life cycle, the term product life cycle refers to the succession of stages a product goes through, like this stage, and next stage, and next stage, and next stage, and then next stage. So the different stages. It is claimed that every product has a life cycle. The progression of a product through these stages is, however, not certain, as some products seem to stay in one stage forever. Yes, there are a lot of products that may, with food products or with basic necessities like bread, for example, or you talk about water, milk. These are the basic necessities. Eggs, you can talk about. Okay, these are the different category of products, but you apply to a lot of other luxury products or non-essential products. This happens. Non-essential products. Furniture, you talk about a lot of other products. Okay, so use of life cycle in services and manufacturing industries, you will be able to go through when you will have notes, but I want to explain this very comprehensive, deep understanding of product life cycle. So this will help you understand the life cycle costing topic more in detail. So factors to be considered: description, competition, demand, market share, sale price, and then cost involved. Okay, cost involved. And this one is tested by performance management exam. Would test this one because this is part of the syllabus requirement as well. Okay, so first of all, description of each stage: design and development, introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. So what is design and development? The product has a research and development stage where costs are incurred, no revenue is generated. So at this level, no competition exists at this stage. Demand, there is no demand exists, no share, market share. Sale price, no sale price because product is in design stage. And what are the costs involved? Design, testing, production, process, and equipment, cost of purchasing any technical data, initial operator training cost, even prototyping. A lot of products require making prototypes, okay? Like especially in drugs, for example, in drugs development, in the development of medicine and similar products. Introduction: the product is introduced to the market. Potential customers will be unaware, so organizations may have to spend further on advertising to bring the product or services to the attention of the market. Competitors have not already established a similar product, maybe. Demand is very low and market share is also very low. So what price to charge? So there are two pricing strategies. One is called skimming pricing, other is called penetration pricing. You need to know about both skimming and penetration because this is part of the syllabus. You will be learning about skimming and penetration in next section C topics, chapter number pricing. But I can just explain. Skimming is about price skimming, is charging a higher price for a new product, charging a higher price for a new product. This happens with high-tech products. Penetration pricing is a pricing strategy, charging a low price just to penetrate into the market because a lot of brands which are not well known, which are not very much famous, so they may be struggling in the beginning, so they need to make awareness and they need to charge lower prices. So cost involve marketing and promotion cost, production cost, etc., etc. Then there's a growth phase. The product gains a bigger market as demand builds up, sales increase, and the product begins to make a profit. Okay, product begins to make a profit. A lot of competitors enter the market at this stage because now competition is becoming intense. Demand is rapidly increasing because more and more customers are becoming aware. Market share is also increasing rapidly. So sale price is normalized because now the competition is increasing. So we need to reduce the price to make it at the level with competitors. Cost involved transportation cost, handling cost, production cost. Maturity is where eventually the growth in demand for the product will slow down and it will enter a period of maturity. It will continue to be profitable. Competition is high. Demand is now stable. Market is now saturated and price is normalized. So different types of cost incurred: customer service, field maintenance, in factory maintenance, holding, spare parts, inventory, etc., etc., logistics cost. Decline stage comes. Decline stage where the now demand has started falling. Product have lost its market as modern products have launched onto the market. Okay, and competition is very high because now a lot of players